Hi guys, this is a update again. Today's day is the 23rd of March 2014, and I want to first of all in this update talk about my job status. As you know from watching my previous videos, I actually had went to go work for a day labor place, and they sent me out to a recycling place is what it did. But the thing is, there was some issues with that. Um, you would think too actually that the smell would be real bad being a recycling place and stuff, of course, lots of garbage there and stuff like that, but that actually was not even the problem that I had at all. I mean, it did smell a little bit bad, but I was able to deal with it just fine, though, really, and cope with it and stuff. But especially, too, I guess, because of the area that they had me at was not exactly in the regular trash area. Where they sent me to was the area that they recycled glass and stuff, like glass bottles, beer bottles, and stuff like that. And what they do is they they like break all the bottles and then they grind them up, and then they actually grind them up to a real fine powdery dust type thing or whatever. And I guess what they do is they send it over to well, I don't want to necessarily say the name, but they actually send it over to a place that does whiskey. That's what I'll say. They actually send it to a place that does whiskey, and that place actually uses that powder and dust or whatever to make their bottles that they have that they use for their whiskey. And so yeah, what the issue was though was the fact of all the dust though that I had to breathe in. Now they actually did have the paper, little cheap paper mask and stuff that you do put around your face and all that, but I didn't get one at first because first of all I didn't realize I needed one or supposed to have one at first, and so I was just trying to deal with it and get through the day and stuff without having to necessarily get one, I guess, which was kind of on my part too, which was a bad thing, I guess, but. Another thing though is that the dust actually was so bad that they really should have had the respirator type mask in there, the type that are like the bigger, industrial type or whatever I guess you want to call it, to where it's supposed to either have like charcoal or a fan or something on the mask itself, because that's how bad that dust was in there though too. I mean that dust was like all through that factory. There was not a lot of ventilation through there at all, and breathing that crap in all day long, I couldn't breathe really. In fact, I was coughing and choking pretty much all day, and because I hadn't really had nothing to eat that day, I was dry heaving a whole lot. And then finally, too, actually, first of all, too, they also had us work extra, like 2 extra hours that day, too. Or was it two? Or was it at least 1 extra hour for sure? I think it might have been two. I can't remember which one for sure. And what they normally would have done, I guess. And like another issue too was the fact that they didn't even have really any breaks. So they did a 30-minute break, but that was it. They didn't do any 10-minute breaks at all either, as well. Which actually, of course, is illegal. But of course, they're going to get away with that because they got the big time lawyers to fight anything like that. As far as if anybody wanted to fight it. Plus, if you ever did try to fight anyways, of course, you're going to automatically lose your job. That's going to be for sure. Because also too, Ohio actually is an at-will state, meaning they can fire anybody at will and not have to have any reason whatsoever for it at all either, which is a bunch of crap. But another thing I was going to say though was the fact that I did go to the restroom too for about 10 to 15 minutes toward the end of the day before the shift actually was over. And when I was in there, I ended up throwing up big time because I just had so much, uh, I guess, dust and crap in my lungs and stuff already too that I just kept on hacking up and just couldn't take it as far as all the crap I had to deal with. So being the fact that I didn't want to necessarily have to try to go to the hospital anytime soon, especially over something that was a minimum wage job, as it is too, which is $7.85 here in Ohio, and of course, without even plus the fact I don't have insurance either for that matter, and so that's why it is that I decided not to stay at that job. I wish the circumstances would have been better because I definitely wanted to work for sure, and I definitely still want to work at a job, but I think it's going to be better for me to just try to see if I can find a regular job somewhere still. Hopefully, get something like a sub shop or something, or retail or something, just something that's a regular job that I don't have to worry about my health issues is all and at all, and don't have to worry about things like that. Because I mean, as far as the work goes, I mean, I'm definitely a hard-working type of guy and not afraid to work hard at all. It's just the fact that I wasn't too fond about the fact that I couldn't really hardly breathe all day and choking all day. I didn't like that idea. And also, too, really for that matter, I didn't like the idea that when I was on one of those conveyors, one of the jobs, well, one of the things we had to do, or actually the only thing I had to do really for that matter, is pick out anything that wasn't glass pretty much, which was anything like steel and metal and plastic and stuff like that. But one of the things I saw that was coming through that conveyor on a regular basis was needles as well. And I also was not too fond about the fact of having to pick out needles off that conveyor as well, because of course it only takes one time to get stuck, and of course there's all kinds of issues you can have there as far as all kinds of diseases and hepatitis or whatever it might be. So I wasn't too fond of that idea either. I mean, I was doing it anyways. I mean, I'm not necessarily afraid to do something like that, especially to the fact that we did have gloves, but still, the gloves we have had was a regular, just everyday garden variety gloves or construction type gloves, whatever you want to call them. So a needle definitely could still go through those real easily, though, for that matter. So yeah, I was there for one day, and that was it. So I know it don't sound good, but like I said, I just don't like the fact that my health was going to be an issue as far as me being there, as far as um, my health being a risk factor or whatever you want to call it. As far as me staying there, I wasn't too fond of that idea. So I still been now putting in applications and still working on get something different as far as a different type of job going on. And so yeah, I mean that's it then as far as the update as far as the job goes. As far as the tire situation goes, I was actually able to get to Harbor Freight for that matter and get a bottle jack. Turns out that I was actually able to jack up my tire, but I had to get a bottle jack and I had to definitely still put it in the right position because I mean even still I was not real comfortable with the fact of having to change it with that bottle jack because of how I had to position it underneath my how well where my tire was, how I had to position that thing. I was still not real comfortable with it, but I still went ahead and got it and put it there and jacked it up and still got the job done and still went ahead and changed my tire anyways. So later down the line, when I do get a job going to get some extra money, getting a good jack is definitely going to be one of my missions for sure. Because I'd rather have the peace of mind of having something more reliable and not have to worry about having to try to bench press a van because I'm not that strong. That's for sure. So yeah, I've got the tire changed, and now I still need to get to where I can go get a tire. And there is a place over on the west side of town that I heard about that has tires supposedly for around $25 to $30. I'll have to see. I don't know for sure if that's going to really fly. I don't know for sure if that's going to be the right type of price or not, but I'll have to check with them sometime soon and see if that's going to really go or not. Hopefully, they will go for that price. I mean, definitely it's going to help me out because it's going to help me save some money, but we'll have to see. Um, Another thing, too, I wanted to mention is that, of course, obviously, well, I won't say this obviously because nobody would know for sure, but I didn't actually get any donations as far as when I put up my video in the past. So another ideal I have is that well, for right now anyways, I want to say is that I do have a old um, Android phone because of course I upgraded to my new Android phone and I'm actually using it right now to make this video with. And I do still have my old Android phone that I could sell. If anybody is interested in that, you can let me know. It's just a basic Android phone, nothing special. And it's got a total of 2 batteries. So one that's inside of it and one extra as well that you can use. I was always carrying the one extra with me to make sure I've always got one charged up ready to go in case the other one went dead. And it's also got a 8 GB micro SD card as well too. So I've got, like I said, the cell phone, the 2 batteries, and 8 GB micro SD card, and I figure I should sell that for about $40. And so if anybody is interested in that, let me know. I was thinking about maybe doing like $40 and $5 as far as shipping as well, but I think what I'll do is just go ahead and say $40, and that'd be everything. So that'd be including with shipping as well too. So if you're interested, go ahead and send me a private message and let me know, and then I'll send you payment details and so forth. And that way it's going to help put at least a little bit extra money in my pocket too. And another thing too I've been doing is, what I actually recently did was I looked up a solar panel that was also actually on Harbor Freight's website. And it's actually only a 15 watt is all it is, but still it's a lot better than what I've got now, which actually is of course nothing. So I figure that, if nothing else, I can also use that to help power up the power pack that I have, because I've got of course the Duracell Power Pack 300, and so to help charge that up. And that actually I think was around $64 as far as on the website. And I have a coupon as well too, which is going to help me save some money as well too. So by selling my cell phone, and hopefully if I can get some other things going on later as far as selling some other things, I might be able to pretty soon go ahead and get that solar panel as well too. Like I said, it's only a 15 watt, but it's a start. And then later down the line too, if I'm able to get a hold of one of those small batteries that's like 35 amp hours, I can still use that solar panel to charge it up as well too. Of course, still obviously I need a charge controller as well, and I need a inverter as well too. But piece by piece is how I see it. If I can try to get one thing going after another and get each piece one at a time, then eventually I'll get there as far as where I want to be, as far as getting the stuff I want to get done and stuff I want to do. So that's the first thing I'm gonna try to do then, is go ahead and see if I can get that. Nothing, and that way too, it's nothing outrageous as far as price goes. It's something I can try to really shoot toward and shoot for, and hopefully get that pretty soon. Another thing I'm going to try to be doing too here pretty soon is putting some shirts up for eBay auctions as well. I actually went to a thrift store recently as well and got myself some decent deals on some shirts. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to put those up here next day or two on some eBay auctions and see what I can do with that. And just in case you might be interested too, go ahead and send me a comment and let me know. Because if so, then when I put the shirts up, I can maybe even go ahead and put that in the links in one of my videos I make or something, and let you guys know that it's up there and ready, available in case you guys want to bid on it and get it. But what I'm going to do though is I'm going to do them all as buy it now prices though. I'm not going to do no regular auctions or nothing. I'm going to do them all as buy it now, so that way I can just go ahead and get them sold and get them done and over with, and try to get the money in my pocket as soon as possible. Because definitely I need to still try to get some money going as quick as possible. And I think that's pretty much it for right now as far as some recent updates I wanted to talk to you guys about. I guess some other things I'll probably talked about, or we'll probably talk about later down the line. But for right now, that's pretty much about it. Here in a few minutes, I'm about to head over to one of the places to go eat for free again. And actually, that's another thing that's going to help me save some money too, toward getting the solar panel and different things I need as well, is by making sure I'm still eating at those places as much as possible. And that way, not have to worry so much as far as buying food and stuff. Because of course, too, I still got to put gas in my van as well. That's obvious, and have a little bit upkeep of my van too, of course. So definitely money's still going out for sure. But yep, that's it though. If you guys have any questions at all, of course, as always, let me know, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. And thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And have a great day, guys.